Today we talk about all the mods I made to my CZ457 to make it competition ready. Stay tuned. Hey shooters, it's Rick from Canadian Rimfire Precision series. Today we go through the basic mods that I've done to my CZ457 to make me feel more confident at matches and basically set it up so I can adapt to all the different barricades and positions they would have to shoot during the match. So 10-stage match unless you're shooting the end of year regional championships, which is going to be 24 or 26 stages depending on how long the days are. So anyway, this is my CZ457. Bought it new last year, and at that point in time they only had 16-inch barrels available, and I said sure, I really wanted to try it out. It looked good. I love the CZ455. I had a couple before, and the big difference for me was the bolt throw was a 60 degree versus a 90 degree, which gave me a little bit more clearance, and the action screws were a little bit different from the 455 to the 457. So that's why I want, and I want to try out this stock. It was an interesting stock, and you have two opinions on that stock. You either love it or you hate it, and I was honestly not a big fan when I saw it. Said it kind of looked kind of goofy, but when it arrived and I tried it out, it fit like a glove, and I loved it. As I said, it came with a 16-inch barrel. I reached out to my buddy Ryan Stacy at IBI and said, "What do you have for the CZ455 457?" And I got one of their Schnoobel front-ended 1/16 22 LRs, which I loved. When I tried it out at the range, it basically gave me a 30% decrease in group size over the stock barrel. It was already a great shooter, turned it even to a better shooter, and that was good enough for me. And again, as I've said in other videos, always take the time to see what shoots well out of your specific rifle. No matter what your buddy's got the same exact setup as you is saying works for them, you've got to get out there and confirm it. Otherwise, you could be leaving some extra group sizes. So I tried it out and found what it loved, and I stuck with it. So that was my match ammo for the year. On top, I've got a 20 MOA rail from CZ. I got it from the folks at Wanstall's. They had a couple in stock, and I emailed them right away, and they sent one over. 20 or 25, I can't remember which one. I've got Burris Xdr Rings. These are the ones, the signature rings have the inserts in them, so you can vary from 0 to plus 20 or minus 20 rings. So you can actually adjust the cant for the most amount of travel you can get out of your scope. And this is the Athlon Midas Tack 6 to 24 by 50. I've already done a quick review on this, so I'll put a link to it somewhere up here. Just click on that if you want to find out more. And I did really talk about this accessory. This is an accessory from MK Machining. I bought this last year. I also recently announced that MK Machining is a sponsor for the 2020 season. I reached out to them because I loved what they were doing. They were doing scope levers. They're a full line retailer now. They sell a whole bunch of stuff. I actually bought a couple of things from them last year before they were a sponsor. We got our T1000s, our magneto speed indicators from them. And I got this thing, which is a magnifier. So if you're a shooter of a certain age, like I am, your eyesight's going and you need reading glasses. So these are the turret magnifier. And I got this for not that expensive, 20, 30 bucks. And it basically saves you from using reading glasses on the stage when you don't have time. And I'll show you what kind of it looks like now. There you go. What else? I've also taken the time to make sure that I've got a good cheek weld on my rifle. So I've got some just inexpensive foam padding, and I've wrapped it with some camo tape and some vet wrap just down below to just fine tune that position, so that when I get behind the gun all the time, I've got a perfect consistent cheek weld, and leads to tighter groups. The other accessory, because I'm a big Project Maple Seed guy, I've got the Sling. Every match I run at least, has a positional stage or two where you are unsupported except for a sling. So you're going to shoot offhand, seated, kneeling, and prone with only a sling. No bipods or bags. So that aids in stability. If you haven't taken a Project Maple Seed, take a look. Look for an event near you. MapleSeedRifleman.com is the website. And finally, I'll talk about this accessory, which is the ARCA rail. Lots of people are talking about ARCA rails and ARCA rail this, ARCA rail that, and it does help. It does help. if you're lucky enough to have a chassis like this MDT ACC, you've got this ARCA rail milled already at the bottom. Why that's handy is because we are shooting off different types of barricades, you don't always have a consistent surface to put your bipod on and put a rear bag. With the ARCA rail, and this one is, I think it's a 14-inch. How long is this? I think it's a 14-inch. You can now move your bipod basically anywhere you need to. So if you're working off the top surface of a barrel, you can, and you don't have an Atlas that has rear cantable legs, you now have enough room to put your bipod on the barrel and a small bag in the back, and you've got a stable shooting position off the barrel. If you didn't, then you'd have to work out something else, put a bag on there. But again, this just gives you the most position. There's a whole bunch of different accessories. There's barricade rests and stuff. So again, there's a lot of manufacturers that make aftermarket rails that you can put on. It just takes a couple of screws to mount this. I got this off of Amazon, but Area 419 has an amazing set of accessories that are far more engineered than this and could work better for you. I didn't have the budget, so, and I'm a photographer, so I know where to get cheap photography-related gear. So all I did was I bought a rail off of Amazon. I used some of the existing mounting screws that they had. I took off, I think, one of the swivel studs, and then just drilled 2 more screws and tapped it. And then that let me put my rail on. And then for the clamp, I just basically got a cheap clamp off of Amazon. I put a small section of Picatinny on it, and I've got a Picatinny Atlas. You can also get an adapter for your Harris type bipod, where this piece just is basically clamps onto Picatinny. I think I'm saying that word wrong. It sounds weird when I say it. And we've got a small adapter that lets you basically just clamp it onto the Harris bipod. Right? That's not cooperating. Basically that's it, and it clamps onto the bottom of a Picatinny rail, and then you've got a Harris adapter. They're out there, and then now you've got a fully adjustable setup. So that is the other one, and we'll actually install this. I'm going to take this out of off of this rifle. This rifle is actually going to get put into an MDT ACC chassis. MDT has renewed their sponsorship for 2020, and they've donated an ACC chassis for the 457, and this moves off of the competition circuit and ends up on our demo rifle table, so folks can try out what the Athlon Midas Tack with the CZ457 and an ACC chassis looks like. So stay tuned for that one. We're going to do an install video to show what it takes to assemble one of those and put it in place. And as I said, it's got a built-in ARCA rail, so you don't need that rail. So this rail is going to a new competition rifle. Actually, it's an old competition rifle. I'll be shooting a Savage Mark II basically in production class. So I'm going to production class this year, and we're going to put this on and show some of the accessories that we'll be using to fine-tune that Savage Mark II from a stock rifle to a competition-ready Savage Mark II. So anyway, that's it. Just a quick overview on. I forgot one more accessory. So when you look at Area 419, there's a whole bunch of different accessories. One of them is obviously you can get the bipod, but this is they've got something called I think it's a rail changer, where they mounted a flat bag on a clamp, and now you've got a bag that follows your rifle as you move from port to port, and you don't have to worry about sticking it on there. I mean, the only other mod I might make is put a little adhesive sticky, turn this into like a sticky rail changer. But basically that works. It's basically, again, it's the same ARCA clamp. I'm a videographer, so I've got these rails that I put on, and this bag happened to have some straps on it, so I was able to just kind of weave it in there and secure it with some zip ties. So that's my homemade rail changer. Again, you can make these yourself. You can even duct tape bags to it. You can get a 1/8 piece of flat metal, drill and tap it, or just drill it and then drill and tap the clamp, and then you've got a sticky bag that you can move in. And I've used it a couple of times. I love it. Again, it saves a couple of seconds, right? It could be a second per port, which could be 1 or 2 shots extra per stage, which could be the difference in, being on the podium or not, or just making that extra hit or not. So that's basically it. Oh, and if you're wondering how I mounted my sling, it's basically a loop of paracord into a hole. Then I've got my sling swivel kind of just clamped in there. It's an old maple seed trick. There's we find lots of inventive ways of mounting a sling on most rifles out there. So anyway, that's it. That is my CZ457 competition rifle that's rigged up for competition last year. As I said, stay tuned for the video where we're going to put this into an MDT ACC chassis for the coming competition season, and then also do a build video on a Savage Mark II that's going to be made from a stock rifle to a competition ready rig in the production division. Anyway, that's it. Stay tuned, stay safe, and look forward to seeing you guys on the firing line. Take it easy.